Good evening, sir. Today I will discuss the week 13 until week 15. Basic points that should be considered in obtaining standards. Procured or collected standard. 1. Amount of standard rating and available. There is no fixed rule as the definite number of standard that be considered adequate or sufficient. Experience show, however, that at least 7 standard usually constitute a sufficient amount, but effort should not be made merely to comply with this minimum requirement, but as much possible, more should be procured. As a rule, 10 is better than 7.15, is better than 10, and 20 is better than 15. More than standard provide a wide field for selections or the more appropriate standards. Number 2, similarity to subject matter. As a rule, like things must be compared. A signature cannot be compared with an extended writing. Either a cursive writing with a or hand lettered or hand printing writing, or extended or conventional leyland writing with block writing. Therefore, a signature should be compared with a signature, extended writing, and so on. 3. Related date of the question, signature or writing with the standard. The standard must be those executed or affixed on the documents with dates contemporary use with or close to the date of the question signature. The best standard are those made on the dates which come during a period before, about, and after the date of the question signature. In some cases, where the standard do not show radical changes or variations in a few years, writings made before or after the date of the question signature may be proved appropriate as a standard. 4. Conditions under which non-writing or signature is prepared. Serious illness, intoxications, haste, lack of care, or unnatural writing vision is resting the paper on the knee or the magazines on the back heel with the other hand, or writing while riding on a moving vehicle may introduce variations in our writing which may render such a writing an upright or unsuited standard for many comparisons with more carefully written material. Writing would be as such unusual arterial conditions should be not be solely the basis of the comparative examinations by writing made or done the normal conditions of precisions. The main difficulty encountered in a comparative examination of questions writing under usual conditions that there are no available standard written under similar conditions. 5. Kinds of instruments and paper use. The kind of writing instrument and paper used might influence a paper writing. Pencil writing, for example, may entirely show the characteristics of a fountain pen or ballpen writing. As a rule, some of the standard at least should be those which written with the same instrument as the questions documents. As far as possible, the paper used in standard should be as the same size, shape, rolling, and compositions of the use of the question document. How to take handwriting samples in court. To take handwriting samples in court is advisable. First, to ask the person to sit as comfortable as possible. Second, if has own pen, should use it. 3. Give him enough space to sit and enough space to write. 4. Explain the situations and reassure him that it is natural for everyone to be nervous in such situations, but he should try to write them naturally as possible under circumstances. If his handwriting shows in nervousness, that will change the handwriting only appearance but not in characteristic. On the other hand, as disguise, writing can be revealed and established. Fifth, an important condition is that people should not gather around him and watch him while he's writing. 6. First, he should be asked to write things unfamiliar to him, his name, address, telephone number, occupation's name, the name of the family members, etc. 7. Next, dictate to him an enormous paragraph, for example, from the day newspaper. 8. Then ask him to write the text or signature in question at least 6 times. 9. Finally, ask him to write anything he wishes, then ask him to sign the paper. These simple instructions will give the natural writing of the person accurately as will be possible. Care in handling and preservations of documents. The improper or careless handling of question documents can lead to the serious curtailment of certain technical examinations. Most frequently, this condition is brought by the ignorance of the consequence of mishandling. Just the simple act of removing and replacing letter in its envelope repeatedly can notice Noticeable duration. The care handling and preservation of documents can be discussed adequately by setting forth certain positive rules of actions in the form of do's and listening to several admonitions in the form of don'ts. Dos. Keep documents unfolded and protected envelope. 2. Take the disputed papers to the document examiner's laboratory at the first opportunity. 3. If storage is necessary, keep that document in a dry place, free from the exercise heat and strong light. Don'ts. Do not handle documents excessively or carry them in the pocket for a long time. Second, do not mark question documents either by consciously writing or pointing at them with writing instrument or dividers. 3. Do not allow anyone except qualified specialists to make chemical or other tests. Do not reach or dust for latent fingerprints before consulting a document examiner. 4. Do not mutilate or damage by repeating refolding, increasing and cutting, tearing, or punching for filling purposes. Equipment, apparatus, or materials and instruments used in question documents examinations. First is stereoscopic microscope, a kind of microscope instrument which give a three-dimensional enlargement of object. Second, shadow graph, a machine which enlarge minute details as much as 20 times. 3. Camera, it consists of a light, tight box designed to hold the photographic film equipped with a lens system by which the image is found on the film and shutter device by which desired light is admitted to expose the film. 4. Indirect lighting equipment, an equipment with controlled illumination. The document is viewed the source of illuminations behind it and the light coming through the paper. Fifth is ultraviolet lamp machines, an equipment which create ultraviolet radiations that occurs in the wavelength just below the visible blue, violet, and end spectrum. These invisible rays react in some instances so that visible light infracted. The phenomena is known as fluorescence. 6. Paper thickness, a material used in measuring of the thickness of paper. 7. Hand lens, a convenience instrument which is aids examinations of almost as enlarge the size of the letter or character. 8. Typewriting, measuring plate instrument to use the measure of the number of characters in use letters in typewriter. 9. Type angle in measuring plate, an instrument which measure the angle of degree or horizontal malalignment in typewriter. 10. And other equipment, apparatus, material, and instrument that help in the examinations of QDs. That's all. Thank you, sir.